and welcome to Who Dares Roy's Mumbo Jumbo for this mid-January point. Don't know, I haven't had a chance to check the timing. The dog is in here. Baxter boy, you gonna be a good boy? He's laying down. The ball game dog, Baxter. Love him. I'll get some shots of him in a minute, just for you Baxter fans out there. Right, we're a bit late on this video. Lots of things going on. Indoors, she who will not play games, has come down with a dreaded lurgy. Little man Isaac has also had it, so she has been incapacitated the entire weekend in bed with the full-on man flu. Not very good, which meant that I have been running around doing my best Florence Nightingale and trying to keep the house in order, which is not my favourite pastime, and just keep everything moving, stuff and things. Anyway, hands full. Yes, lots going on, which is why we're delayed, and I'm tired, and I don't think I've had much sleep for the last week, because Isaac's been getting up very early because he's poorly, and I really hope I don't get it. So anyway, lots of shit going on, none of it related to what we're doing here, but I thought I'd bring you up to speed. This will be a shortage video. I just really wanted to touch base and run through a few things, just let you know I'm still alive, and we're still here, and I'm still working on editing the very long fucking video that Ben left me, and the others haven't filmed anything. Oh my. Anywho, let us, I hope you're okay by the way, let us dive into what I've been playing. Played! I'm going to skim over one because I honestly, in my addled state, cannot for the life of me remember if I've actually covered this already, but Rear Window, Ben bought that a couple of weeks ago, based on the Alfred Hitchcock movie. I want to say I spoke about this. It was fun, entertaining, definitely group dependent. Think Mysterium crossed with Dixit. And I'm going to leave that there because I think I spoke about this. But it was okay. Good. Prospero Hall, again, very good production quality. It was quite cheap, and if you've got a good enough group and people into it, I think that could be a winner. Ours was a struggle, I'll say that. Anyway, on to other stuff. So Frustration, whatever. Yeah, that we've been playing again. So we've played a couple of games of that over the last few weeks, just trying to get it back to the table. I mean, I only had recently a new class. The trap guy doing traps is my guy. Tony's got some big molten lava dude. Someone else has got something else. A big crap. Jamie's got Mr. Zoidberg. Issue is, we're all dropping shit on the board. So very quickly, the entire board is fucking full up with shit and no one can move around. It's kind of not feel like the best coherent group. It's just a shamble of fucking people leaving shit everywhere. So that's not helping. We're all kind of low level. Again, I stand by it. The actual gameplay experience of Frosthaven is a lot of fun. I enjoy that. It is just all of the bookkeeping, all of the work, all the GMing, all of the maintenance, all of the everything. It's exhausting, and especially the week before we played it, I had not had much sleep because of Isaac and other stuff going on, and to be honest with you, it was fucking exhausting. So anyway, we are still playing it, sparingly. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy the experience of it, the actual experience of it is exhausting. It's very hard work. Anyway, there's that. So yes, that's still going on. What else can we talk about? Bask Birmingham, which is a re-implementation of Brass, the original Brass from Martin Wallace. I think it then was republished as Brass Lancashire, and Birmingham came out, and I think Lancashire is more like the original Brass, and Birmingham is a slightly polished or tweaked version of that with slightly different mechanisms. I believe. I may be wrong. They may be transposed that the other way. But anyway, Martin Wallace, it's an old design. It's a number one in Board Game Geek, I believe. One I had failed to actually play up to recently. It is a game of you building networks, supply networks to connect cities via train or barge or canal. Sorry, first stage is canal, and then once that's all over and done with, you then move on to trains. But essentially, you're building these connected routes, and you're potting down mines or other facilities at these different sites where you can, which trigger stuff to bring your income and do other stuff to do more of that. It uses a card-based mechanism. You set up a hand of cards that you play will either relate to a location where you can do one of these actions, or it will be like an item, one of the actual facilities on these cards, and you can also get wild cards that allow you to do a bit of both. So, yeah, it's a bit of a teach. We had 4 of us on Friday. Ben taught it. We actually got cracking. We played about a fraction of it, like an eighth of one game, and then worked out we catastrophically got about 2 or 3 rules wrong. So what we did was we stopped, reset everything, and played through again. I will say, and I'm going to flick round, and I can't see it now because it's there. It's on the floor over there. Nuculum. So recently there's Board and Dice supplied Nuculum as a review copy. I haven't played it properly yet with everyone, but I have played solo on that, and I have tried to teach myself the rules. And actually Nuculum, I'd heard, was very similar to Brass in what it was doing. And I will say, yes, it is. The actual basic gameplay of you building networks and connecting cities, it's very Brass. Nuculum veers off by not having cards, but having these little tiles you play, which I think actually is a cool mechanism. But we'll come back to that. So anyway, Brass, Bask Birmingham. I got my head around it, I think, because I've been fucking around with Nuculum. I was able to pass pretty quickly what we were doing. So I was like, oh yeah, this is like Nuculum, I'm doing this. And then we played it, and I won quite significantly. Number one, probably because of my pre-knowledge of Nuculum fucking around. And B, I very quickly worked out that the strategy in Birmingham was more to do with the cards you had in your hand, because they're going to give you the options of what you can do as you play out. So that was very important that you got the right cards and kept the cards to allow you to do the actions you need to do. You couldn't kind of wing it. So there you go. Bask Birmingham, I quite enjoyed it. I don't know. I mean, I can understand why it's number one on Board Game Geek. It's a solid game. It's doing some interesting things. Nuculum, I will now maybe better get to table a bit easier with the Friday lot, at least because we have played it through, kind of, in this version. I play again, happily. I don't think it's one I urgently need to own, and more importantly, I've got Nuculum to play anyway at the moment. Yeah, Bask Birmingham, generally was fun. Bob wasn't so enamoured. Do a mid-video game. A video, Bob. What's your video opinions now at this point?
Shit.
Bask Birmingham.
One of those comes
spending his shit. And that was that. What else? Wasteland Express delivery service. Yes. So I picked this up. Games Law had a sale on around Boxing Day, Christmas, January time. Early part of the year. That's good, that. And one of the ones on there was Wasteland Express delivery service, which is a game, since it originally came out, there's always kind of a bit on my radar. Post-apocalyptic, pick up and deliver. John Gilmore was one of the design guys behind it, and I loved his work from Dead of Winter. Very much intrigued. It looked gorgeous, lots of components, lots of nice stuff. At the time it came out, it was quite expensive, and it's one of those, you have those games that you really want, and then time moves on and you get other stuff, and you're attracted elsewhere, and it passes you by. There's always one I meant to keep an eye out for and pick up maybe either second hand or whenever. Well, the opportunity presented itself with the Games Law sale. It was very reasonable. I can't remember the top of my head how much, but it was significantly lot less than you would normally pay for it. So I took the punt and got it. And we got it to the table the other day, last night. It is a pick up and deliver game. We played Firefly, and it's a firm favourite of the guys on the Sunday night because they all love Firefly and the theme and all that sort of shit. But it is a massive table hog and a lot of moving parts. You need all the expansions in it to kind of get the best out of it. It is an all-night job. However, this, similar, very nice. This is really quite straightforward. It's a random configured map, different locations on it, and different items of what require stuff or what you to buy stuff. These, that does not bode well for the have I avoided this infection. It's randomised board, randomised locations, randomised stuff that they need or buy and sell at it. You have a market board so that whenever you supply something to a location, then it alters, depending on what the demand now is on the board for stuff, how much the cost of everything is. There's a lot of cards and stuff. You can fight raiders on the board. You can fight enclaves there where they live. There's raiders moving around depending as other people move. You can kind of send these raiders after other people, a bit like the Reavers in Firefly. They can also be attacked and get supplies off them. And the game is mainly about you trying to complete 3 big main missions. There's 3 come out randomised at the start of the game that have different sort of story-ish related things across the board. And there's also other missions you can pick up from different factions to do those. Some of them will give you just stuff, and some of them allow you to put down one of your cardboard standees, stamp on the thing. When you complete all 3 of your standees are out and you've done all that, game's over. You win. And we played that, and I won that. I was on quite a good tear and burn on that one. I quite enjoy it. It's very streamlined, a simplified version of that sort of game. There's a lot of parts to it, but actually it's very basic, simple, and it has a really cool little action selection sort of play. You have basically 5 little cogs in front of you, and on your turn you can move them up to move, and you move across the board. If you then subsequently do nothing else, then next time you come to move again, you'll usually get a slightly faster move, and you can do that a couple of times. However, if you then take a secondary action once you've done your first action, i.e. to move, you can then go buy stuff from the sites, or you can deposit stuff, or you can have an action at a certain faction location. You can do stuff, but doing that means you lose that token off, and you can't do the faster drive. That probably makes a lot less sense than it actually really is if you were in front of you. Anyway, I quite like this mechanism where you have these tokens that you can do things to select stuff, and it's quite cool. I like that. It's a little thing to do, and it works quite well. Trying to think if it's a bit. I think Dinosaur Island also had similar. Now I think about it. Anyway, that theme's okay, comes through all right. Quite enjoyed it. It whips along fast. I mean, critiques-wise, there's not a lot of interaction between yourself other than removing the raiders, though there is variant rules that allow you to have that fighting between you, which probably would make it more interesting, but I mean, the game went on for about another 3 hours. I won that one, as I said. I got a really cool token which allowed me to jump across the map and then handed in the last quest and finish it, and everyone was taken the surprise, went, "Oh, you've won, Mike." I said, "Yes, I'm brilliant." But yes, I enjoyed it. I think it's really great production quality. If you can pick it up very, very cheap and you want to pick up a deliver game that plays through relatively quickly, then this isn't bad. However, I don't think it's changing the world in any way, but it is a nice of that sort of quicker pick up a deliver game, say the versus someone like Firefly, or even the Star Wars, whatever it is, I can't remember his name. Outer Rim, yes, that thing there. Anyway, there you go, that. And then we played Rizikana, and I won that as well. I love Rizikana. Very good game. That's my recommendation. As always, Rizikana, if you can pick it up reasonable enough, absolute stonking game. And that's that. Here is the news. No news, actually, really, other than Erendorse is ill. I'm hoping I don't get it, and I'm knackered and lots of stuff going on. I don't know about board game news at all. As I said, I am working on the video. I've got a video that me and Ben filmed. I wasn't going to film the video with the Sunday crowd, but they got delayed because of this week's shenanigans. So all that is in the ether up there, just when I get around to doing it. I did pick up, we've got a 4K TV we picked up in one off a TCL, I think it is. It was like 300 quid on Amazon. It was kind of like a steal, really, and we've been undenied for many years. We haven't bought ourselves a TV fucking ever. So yes, we got one of them, and a sound bar so we can get a bit of to add a bit of spice to our Game of Thrones marathon that we're closing in on the last couple of seasons of, and generally nice flashy oh god generally a nice flashy TV. So that I watch The Traitors. I need to catch up on that, but indoors being ill means I haven't cheated on that, but I'm really still enjoying that. I did watch the most recent Mission Impossible, finally, the Dead Reckoning. I've really enjoyed the last couple of Mission Impossible movies. They're really good action movies. Chris McCorry, who directed The Way of the Gun, if you've not seen it, highly recommended, has done the last couple, and they've been stonking, not least because of Tom Cruise being a fucking idiot and throwing himself out of planes or off cliffs and stuff. This one had all of that, but I felt a bit flat with me. I don't know what it was. There's some really good action sequences, but the plot seemed a bit incoherent and a bit not focused, and it was kind of, it wobbled along. It didn't feel as tight, and it didn't feel as kind of, propulsive as the other ones did. I mean, there's some great action sequences. Even some of them fell a bit flat for me, and I don't know whether it was because I was mucking around with the new tech setup, because the sound bar wasn't working properly, so I had audio dropout, which I fixed. So I don't know if that affected it. I will have to go back to look at it. I mean, I do love those movies. I love the fact that Cruise is risking life and limb in them. It gives them a bit more gravitas. It means when you're watching it, you become more invested, like the old Bond movies where you know someone idiotic did that thing. That, I think, works for me. It kind of removes that fourth wall almost. You can invest. CGI, ultimately, when you're watching a movie and there's a shit ton of CGI, you know at the back of your head this is all CGI. So you can never quite fully invest in what's going on the screen. I can't anyway, personally. But watching these movies and knowing that Cruise has fucking put himself in ridiculously precarious positions and done ridiculously precarious things just kind of allows you to buy into that that experience just a bit more and gives it a bit more. Whoa. So there you go. Other than that, news things I should have mentioned, I missed in the play, was box one. Me and the Owen Doors played this. Fantastic. I ain't going to say really much about this at the moment, though I may contemplate doing a spoiler video on it, or maybe on Patreon, although I'll say now, if you're in any way interested in the idea of how this, well, what this is, don't cheat yourself by watching a spoiler video. Try and get hold of a copy and play it, because it's really quite interesting. I'm going to sneeze. Oh, I'm fucked, aren't I? So yeah, really, really fascinating. It's a simple puzzle. Well, I don't want to say too much of that, but yeah, it is an escape room puzzle in the box. It's supposed to be for one person. I played it with Owen Doors, and we enjoyed the team effort of it. Considering the limited components in here and what it is, and that's all you get. It does link to a web page and uses that in some interesting ways. Really fascinating, really interesting, really satisfying, and actually really surprising at times. I really enjoyed that. I thought it was really cool. I've reset it, and it is fully reset, so I can pass it on to someone else, and I am going to do that. But when I get it back, I'll see what I'm going to do. But yeah, fucking good. Really enjoyed box one. I know Indoors enjoyed it. So if you're looking for that escape room experience, this was a couple of hours one evening. We played it through and completed it, and it was really cool. And there you go. Thank you. So there you go. That's it. I appear to be coming down with a lurgy, which is fantastic. I'm hoping against hope that I can do that. Dog is wandering. What are you up to? You okay? You good boy. Yeah, there you go. That's us. So depending if I catch the plague and go take to my bed for the rest of this week, it depends if this video comes out when the other video comes out and whatever else happens. For you and all of you out there, stay safe out there, stay well, stay away from people with germs, and we'll be back soon, I'm sure, at some point in the not too distant future. Sickness, germs and things and all that. Obviously, yes. Words fail me. Bye!